Hi all. So a while ago on YouTube, I stumbled down a wormhole of small kitchen appliance reviews. As I was looking to buy an air fryer and perhaps maybe a pressure cooker, that's when I stumbled across one of the worst YouTube chefs of all time. His name is Jack Scalfani, as I like to call him, Jack Salmonella Scalfani. I watch video after video of him butcher, sometimes quite literally, recipes. Imagine driving slowly past a multi-car pileup on the interstate. That's my face as I watched him teach the internet how to make partially cooked meals of varying types and taking awful and unneeded shortcuts to recipes that are already quick to prepare. The absolute horror of Jack's lazy man chefing, air quote, techniques to my boyfriend Tom. And now, since we can't unsee it, we are opening your eyes to it as well. I'm Michelle, and I welcome you to join us for this horrific journey, better known as Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man. Welcome back to Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man.
Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man. Yes, that's right, folks. We are back. It is Lazy Man Tom.
And Pink Chicken Michelle.
We are so glad we are back to be with you.
Yeah, we took a 5-month leave of absence.
Was it 5?
Approximately 5 months.
Because it felt like 5.
Yeah, well, you know.
We had some stuff to do.
2020 happened.
Sure did. And kept happening.
We moved from Hellscape to North Hellscape?
Yes, the northern suburbs of Hellscape.
Okay.
We got a much better view of the flaming river of poop.
One of us has contracted COVID-19 and may or may not be still in quarantine. We'll let you guess who. We're trying to figure, we've had a lengthy discussion about where to pick up where we left off. The last video we did was the Walt Disney Chili episode.
Walt's Chili, yes. When Jack started getting back into he started taking an interest in his own show again, or he did what I thought he did, which was hire a social media consultant. Because if you notice, in the intervening 5 months, he has his typical low view count videos, the Cajun Food Wars. Some of his product reviews have gotten hits. But I think somebody advised him, like, if you're going to do this, you have to put the brand name of the manufacturer and the brand name of the product in the title and list on the thumbnail, because I noticed theirs are getting a little high. But other than a couple weird outliers, he's still averaging about 6,000 views per video. Meh.
Some a lot lower, some
even Jack Jr.'s wedding
higher.
Cake video, which he did a Coca-Cola cake. You would think the Coca-Cola name would spike the interest. No, not really.
No, well, it looked like another poop cake again, like we've seen in the past. So we perused through what we've missed. I mean, we watched all of the videos along.
Unfortunately.
Without you guys, obviously, but
we missed you.
We have a lot to discuss, but
we still have a cat.
We still have a cat. He's locked out of the room currently.
The cat does not have COVID-19, but we're quarantining him anyway.
Yes. For the sake of this video, I think we're going to pick it up.
He's a D-bag.
3 weeks ago, because we figured this will be a nice ease into the food crimes that have more recently happened. We're maybe 2 weeks shy of Christmas by the time you hear this. I think it's the 13th. I don't know.
13th-ish.
I lost track of time again.
It's 2020. Who the hell knows what day it is? Doesn't matter.
Yeah. So anyway.
We've been living like convicts.
So 3 weeks ago, I guess right around Thanksgiving, this came out. It's honey garlic pork chops. And we thought this is a 9-minute and 53-second video.
It's a nice kiddie pool video. We were going to do the smoked grilled cheese episode, but that was too short.
And kind of stupid. It's not really cooking. It's combining ingredients with Jack. This one, actually, he's cooking.
Well, burning. He's burning.
We were talking right before we started recording, and we want to call this now scorching with Jack.
Yes, indeed.
Because it's not cooking, it's scorching.
And by his own dead hands admission, he's also over-seasoning.
Over-seasoning with Jack. So we got 2 different series going on here. This one has 9,000 views currently. It's maybe one of the higher rated ones that's out there right now in the last couple weeks.
Yeah, I'm wondering if he's paying somebody to jiggle the suggester for him, the YouTube recommendation algorithm, or if he's just buying views, or if this is just an artifact of COVID-19 happening. Everybody has nothing to do, so it's like, why not watch the fat guy burn a pork chop. That'll be fun. They'll get sucked in like we did. I expect. Now, we have not checked Podbean, our podcast publisher, or any of the other platforms yet, but I suspect that there may be people out there who are considering following in Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man's footsteps and railing against Jack Scalfani's crappy cooking.
Let's hear those suggestions. I would love to hear your take on this because it's just crimes against humanity continuously.
Speaking of which, folks, synchronize your YouTubulators. We are going to be jumping into
honey garlic pork chops.
Honey garlic pork chops.
2, 1.
That's my line.
And we're going.
All right, we are back in ye old Scalfani kitchen. The shot is wide. The white balance isn't atrocious, but it's also overexposed by about half a stop. You still got those 2 light panel lights blowing them out with the heavy reflections on the counter, hard shadow behind the coffee machine. We're getting a little bit more of the wall where the piggy sits and the magnetic knife rack.
This looks like a very simple ingredient list.
Yeah.
It's honey, apple cider vinegar, water.
Don't forget the 16 cloves of garlic. Like, that's not that much garlic.
Parsley, which I think is freeze-dried. We don't know if it's chili powder or chili flakes thing.
My assumption is that it's crushed red pepper flake that he does in the food processor.
It's the same stuff he used when he was doing the zuppa toscana, where he's like, I'm putting in the red peppers, but it looked like powder, or red pepper flakes, and it looked like powder. Yeah,
red pepper powder is not a thing. Chili powder is a thing, but not red powder, not crushed red pepper powder. That's not a thing. You have crushed red pepper flake. This is what Jack uses.
And I forget if I said salt, pepper, and obviously the pork chops.
And the apple cider vinegar.
He looks like he has about, 10 pounds of pork chops sitting on that counter. It's ridiculous. He makes a note of saying that he's making a quadruple batch of this.
Even though we see him only cook double the amount of pork chops the recipe calls for. This is a recipe for 2 pork chops. He's doing 8. We see him cook 4, but obviously there's more on that plate.
Yeah, at the end you definitely see more than 4 sitting there.
And he mentions he's quadrupling the ingredients.
We don't know if he's quadrupling everything.
Or if Jack just don't know math.
I mean, obviously he has quadrupled the pork chops, but is he making quadruple the sauce? I don't know.
Well, that's what he was suggesting with quadrupling the sauce.
When he puts the sauce in the pan, it does not look quadrupled by any means. It's barely enough to coat the 4 pork chops he has in there.
Well, like so many other things with Jack, you can hardly notice the liquid in the pan because it's boiling off quickly.
We're still going through and measuring ingredients.
Is he measuring? He's just dumping.
He's dumping with Jack.
I think Tammy measured stuff out for him other than the parsley, and Jack's just like, I'm just going to dump the parsley, and I could tell.
And so he's stirring everything together for the sauce
Weird
now.
Silicone egg bowl.
Okay, so he has 4 pork chops set out on a plate.
Oh, note the time index. At 2 minutes and 45 seconds, he starts seasoning the pork chops and goes for a while, just dumping chili powder after chili pepper powder on these things.
You're supposed to salt and pepper your chicken, your pork, beef, whatever, because that gives it a good flavor before you put it in the pan and sear it. However, Jack is like almost breading.
He's crusting it. He's crusting it with the red pepper powder.
But not with the red pepper, with the regular pepper. I didn't see the red pepper flakes come out yet. I think he put that in the sauce.
Well, what's that?
That is the crushed regular pepper.
Oh, that's just coarse. Oh,
that's
my God.
just coarse pepper he's putting on there.
Oh God, I thought it was a red pepper. That's black pepper?
No, that's black pepper. Oh, and by the way, guys, Lazy Man here is colorblind, so he has trouble seeing color. So he didn't realize that was actually
it was just a coarse grind.
Coarse pepper, like regular table pepper or whatever you call it.
And now Jack has done the double annoyance. I get annoyed when he dumps oil in the pan but doesn't swirl it around to evenly coat the bottom of the pan. Not that he has to worry about that because he's got the rock pan. Pink Chicken's found a way to be annoyed at the same time. We're annoyed together.
He has a gas stove. He turns on and hears the clicks and
the floomp.
And the floomp, and then he's like, "Oh, make sure you have a flame." Every episode, has he burned his house down? Has he exploded?
You can smell the gas, and you can hear the floop when the flame catches off the pilot.
Why is he doing that all of a sudden? It's just weird. So now we have like about 6 pounds of pepper on each chop. He's basically scorching the pepper, adhering it to the pork chops.
It looks blackened. I think he's stuck on his Cajun wars because he's blackened the pepper. These are blackened pepper chops.
Yeah, but when you blacken something, it's not just pepper that's in it.
Oh, look at that burnt oil.
Yeah. And I have another theory. I think these rock pans are so dark, they don't pick up the color or the lighting to hide the fact that he's burning shit to the bottom of the pan, even though they're non-stick pans.
They're dark as a Zack Snyder DC movie. She won't get that.
No. The pan is way too hot at this point, and...
Yeah, you see when he puts the honey... So basically his sauce is basically honey, apple cider vinegar, and a little bit of water in it. So it's basically sugar and water. When he puts it in that pan, it immediately starts bubbling to the way that if you know how to make lollipop candy or hard candy, you make a simple syrup and you turn it into a solid by cooking it and then dumping it on a cold metal table right away. That's what he's doing with this. Beyond simple syrup, he's making candy. Look at the bubbling. That's exactly what you do.
I feel like this is supposed to be like a saucy, like a little bit of give to it. Like it's like
it's supposed to reduce.
Like a little syrupy almost.
Yeah, a glaze.
And then you're supposed to kind of...
You're just supposed to cook the water out of it.
You fry the pork chops,
right,
and then you let them braise a little bit in the liquid. There's not enough liquid here to do that. It's foam, and it's like boiling off the longer it sits here because he still has the flame from when he turned it on.
To appease his pagan gods, he's going to dump the pig's blood from the dish that he had left over into the middle of the boiling hard candy making glaze. Yeah, exactly. I assume this is to call forth some type of heathen god. I don't know.
So he's
offering up enough burnt offering here. He's gonna sacrifice.
So now he's talking about, make sure you get the sauce on each pork chop. Make sure you baste it. There's not enough liquid in the pan at this point to baste anything.
It's a thick glaze. It will stick to the meat. Why would you not take your tongs and just flip them over again? Because that sauce is so thick at this point, it's just gonna stick. But no, he does this spooning.
Tilt the pan so you can get it a little bit more on the spoon than whatever he's doing.
You really want him to try to use both hands?
Oh. Look at how bad the pepper is burnt to each pork chop. It's so sad. Oh my god. And if you look at the bottom of the pan, it looks like balsamic vinegar colored.
You say motor oil funny.
Yeah, it could be motor oil.
Now he's dumping it on that. Yeah, that's 1030 weight oil. That's coming out of a Chrysler LeBaron. Back into it. There he is dumping his glaze, his hardtack candy glaze of the honey on the pork chops. Everything's burnt. It's just a burnt mess.
Yeah.
Those pork chops are not golden
brown. And we're not kind of
as colorblind as I am. I know that ain't golden brown, folks.
Some of these pork chops look a little pink, but again, he zooms in and it's all granulated, out of focus. It's really bad, not color balanced, but the pork chops look pink. At least two of them look really pink here.
You know what I'm wondering? The reason it looks so grainy? I wonder if he's just zooming in post. Like, I'm wondering if he doesn't really zoom into the picture, if he just blows it up, because it's really hard to get an image looking that bad on modern equipment. Look at he's just dunking and goes in for it. And now you see why when he edits, he normally cuts this part out, because he's talking with a full mouthful of food. Jack has, in 10 years of doing food videos online, just noticed he was spitting food back into the plate. In 10 years of doing food videos, Jack has not realized you take a small bite to taste the food, swallow it and chew it as fast and swallow it as quickly as can, and then talk about it.
He took a quarter of that pork chop and shoved it in his face.
It's like a goddamn eating competition with him. It's like he's trying to win the hot dog contest on the 4th of July. He tries to shove as much food in his gullet as possible. He fills his mouth, then he has to chew, then he has to drop in a soft dissolve edit to hide that.
He's like, there's nobody here but me, but Tammy's there.
Tammy heard that and walked over. What he doesn't tell you is, especially if you watch those coffee tasting videos that he did, Jack has an open concept floor home. The whole first floor is open. His living room is in the lower right-hand corner of the square of his great room. The kitchen's in the upper left-hand corner of the square. His dining table's to the lower left-hand. It's all one room. When he was doing the app ordering, the food ordering app videos from a couple months ago that we did, his house isn't like, it's not like she's in another room. She's sitting at a table in his line of sight. And he's like, well, where is one? There's nobody here. No, that's not true. Because if you notice those lights, if you ever see him sitting in his manly easy chair, you can see the lights behind him, because that's how we figured out what kind of lights he has. I'm like, those are foot by foot LED panels. Those are light panel lights. Because that's his kitchen, but it's stuck in the corner of the room. So what he's talking about, I have no idea how he doesn't see Tammy. It could be diabetic neuropathy, but why get into that here?
Tammy basically is the one that makes sure that this show show continues. Because without her, he wouldn't be chopping, he wouldn't be flipping, he wouldn't be having the presentation skills that he does.
She's both production assistant and producer.
And sous chef, and the person that runs out and gets the nacho chips.
And his latest sponsor, Give Me Books.
Oh, we're gonna have to get into that. Oh, we got lots to talk about.
One of Jack's fake sponsors, but we don't want to bore you too much, folks. We just got back.
Yeah, so we
just flew in from Hellscape, and boy, our arms tired, but
Thanks, folks. We'll be here all week.
We will be. We have more videos come. We have the special holiday episodes that Jack wants to review with Christmas crack and Christmas crap soup or whatever that was. And
Christmas crack, Christmas crap, all kinds of craps.
At that point, folk, we're going to wrap this up. We remind you to stay pink and stay lazy. That's a new one I'm trying.
Oh, okay.
And join us back for another reimagined, re-envisioned, reinvigorated episode of
Pink Chicken and the Lazy Man.